Our next speaker, we would like to talk to Dr. Keren Tsuk. Dr. Keren Tsuk is a leadership expert and global speaker. She is the founder of Wisdom to Lead, a consulting company. In the past 20 years, she has worked with senior management in transition, growth, and development processes. Her PhD is about leadership in the המאה ה-21, בסדר? אפשר? Organizations. She has developed a mindfulness-based leadership, MBL, course and retreat, which she conducts across organizations in Israel and around the world. Dr. Keren Tsuk, hello.
Hi, Boaz. Nice to be here.
It was a long introduction, but I managed through it with only one mistake. It's okay, no? Keren, mindfulness has become a commonly used term. Okay, everyone talks about mindfulness in many aspects and terms, but in fact, we see that not everybody knows exactly what it means. So can you please tell us what mindfulness is and how it is connected to leadership?
Okay, so thank you for the long introduction. Happy to be here, and it was really nice seeing the guys before me. So if I'm talking about mindfulness, the classical definition of mindfulness of Dr. John Kabat-Zinn. Can't you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's okay, we can hear you.
Because I saw you doing like this. So.
No, come on, it was a production.
Okay. So I'm agile, you know. So the classic definition of mindfulness, it's what happened right now. It's being here, present here and now, fully, intentionally, in a not judgmental way. So it means when I'm you, right now, I'm with you fully. Like when I saw you raising your hands, I said, okay, what's happening here? Because I'm with you. So this is a classical definition. The definition that I gave to mindfulness based on my research and my experience is the ability to be aware of an experience that we are going through. It can be a thought that runs through our mind, an emotion, a process that we are going through in a non-judgmental way and without being managed by it. Let's take the situation that we are living in right now, the COVID-19 situation. It's difficult. We're working remotely. We're working from home. We have kids at home. So think about a situation that you have a really important call with a client or colleague, and your kids come home from school and they start fighting. Okay, and you really need to be focused on the call, but they start fighting. So it's really distracted, and you probably will feel a lot of anger because you really need to be focused now. So the ability to feel this anger, to be connected to it, but without letting it manage you, this is the mindfulness aspect as I see it. And this is the connection to leadership. Because as Viktor Frankl defined mindfulness, is this, as we broaden the space between the stimulation and the response. As we broaden this space, we have a free choice to choose our behavior. So then I can manage myself. So it means that I'm connected to my internal world and my experience, but without letting my emotions and thought and the process that I'm going through manage me. So it's really a crucial element and a crucial skill for leaders nowadays. I heard another singer, I think his name, talking about empathy, that you can be empathic for others if you're not empathic for yourself. So this is the mindfulness aspect. It enables us to manage our own internal world, and then we can lead and manage others.
You're talking about the ability to manage myself instead of being managed by the situation. Can you give an example, perhaps, about how it increases resilience in the face of things that may happen, whether it is Corona, other crises, or transformation processes that we might encounter?
Yeah. So first of all, you know, I think all of us in this COVID pandemic situation feel a lot of intense emotions and anxiety and stress. So we really need to be able to contain them and manage it instead of being flowed with all the emotion and being paralyzed. So there's a term called the wandering mind, that in the Buddhism, they call it the monkey mind, that is a situation that we're continuously thinking. We're thinking about the past, about the present, about self-criticizing. And I'm sure in the in this situation, in the uncertain times, we are more telling ourselves much more stories than ever. So the ability, and as we are in the modern mind, we are less present in what's happening here. We're mainly in our minds. And also, so there was a research conducted in Harvard. They found that 50% of the time we are in the wandering mind state of mind. And I'm sure that if the research would have conducted right now, it will be much more time that we're in our mind. So the ability actually to be present, to see the stories that we are telling ourselves, but without getting into the stories, this is a really crucial element that helps us face and increase resilience in the day-to-day. So it's the ability, like it's a metaphor, and the way to do it, a crucial and a central element, the practice is the meditation. As we meditate and pause for a moment, we can reflect on our thoughts, we can reflect on our feelings, but without getting into our thoughts. It helps us to be more present and to broaden the space between the thoughts that are running in our mind. They won't stop, but the space is broadening. And this enables us to be more anchored and centered in these challenging times. If I'm giving want to give a metaphor, like think about a leaf that is blown in the wind, right? And in these uncertain times that we don't know what will be tomorrow, how the new normal will look, what will happen. So we are really loading our thoughts. So the ability to be centered and not enabling all the thoughts and the stories and the situation to move up so quickly, it's a crucial element. So this is the way we can, what I recommend is really increasing the meditation practice nowadays in order to be really more here and now and less in our wandering mind and our worries and our distracting thoughts and feelings.
You're talking a lot about how to self-center myself, how to manage myself, how to be able to lead myself. How does mindfulness help executives lead their organizations in these challenging times? Not only how to come out from the personal perspective and move it to the organizational, to team, to the whole, to the outer world, if to call it like this.
So I think also they talk about it in the past lectures. First of all, I think the crucial element of leadership nowadays is the ability to maintain and manage our internal world and enabling space and room for destructive feeling, for anxiety, for stress. And once a leader or executive can hold his emotion and embrace them, he can be there for the other one, for his employees. He can give room for this emotion. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be stressed. Okay. And when we give this emotion place, they can transform. Otherwise, if we're really holding business as usual and don't give really space to this discourse, things can get stuck because people are holding on. They don't feel they have the room and space to be vulnerable. So it's really something that leaders nowadays need to embrace, the ability to be vulnerable and to be there with the employees, with the customers, to be there in the unknown. We all of us experiencing the unknown. We don't know what will be. So sometimes the ability to be there present, accurate and creative solution can emerge and people can really transform. Because what happens usually when we are really stressed and we don't want to feel these feelings, we take them down. We disconnect from them. And then we're really stuck. We make the feeling kind of stagnation. But when we're really enabling to a room to be to the emotion, if you think about it, emotion, it's emotion. And when we give place to our emotions, there's emotion. And things can transform and to create and emerge new and creative thinking in products and solutions. So this is what I see. And the last thing of leadership nowadays, as practicing more mindfulness, it really deepens our ability to listen to ourselves, but to listen to our customers' needs, to our employees' needs, to the community. And from this place, we can produce and fine-tune our products, our offering, our services, and really be as a servant for our employees and our community and customers. So it's something that deepens the ability to be there for.
So you're explaining that practicing mindfulness or being in a state of mindfulness allows me to create more solutions, to be more attentive, to manage myself and others better. Can you please elaborate on the connection between mindfulness and agility?
Yes, sure. Till 50 years ago, neuroscience thought that we get to an age and our brain stop changing. We don't develop anymore. It's quite sad. But then came the neuroplasticity, and they found that our brain does change. And actually, the meditation practice increases our ability to change. And it makes the neuroplasticity, it increases and change, makes new connection in our brain. It enables us to adopt new behaviors quicker and to let go of behavior that doesn't serve us anymore. So it really helps us to increase our cognitive agility. And nowadays, it's really a crucial element. As business owners, as executives, as individuals, we all need to be able to reinvent ourselves, our companies, our services, our products. So the meditation aspect really increases our ability to nourish the cognitive agility. And this is the connection. There was a question here?
What one important or a single tip, if we would choose out, there are a lot of things that we can fish out from what you said that is very important. What is the one thing that you would like to give the audience to take from here?
Sorry, I read the question. I didn't hear you, Boaz.
Again, what is the one important or one single tip that you would give the audience?
The tip that I will give the audience is, in these challenging times, is really to pause, to take a moment to pause. It can be a pause between meetings on Zoom, because all day long we are on the Zoom meetings. It can be the pause between going out of my room, office, in my house, to my children, and to take a deep breath and come fresh to the situation. It can be going out to nature for 5 or 10 minutes and to refresh my mind and come back. So I really think that we really need to practice being more present nowadays and seeing our stories from a third person and not going into our stories, but being more present in the here and now. So this is actually one tip that I really recommend. Finding 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes to stop, pause, and come fresh to the other situation.
Is it possible when, I don't know, let's say I'm not practicing mindfulness at a daily basis or even not at all, how can I find this, this moment that you're talking about? Okay, let's say I'm not familiar with this subject. How do I start? How do I take this minute that you're talking about?
It's even, people are doing it without knowing that they're doing it. Even people are going to jog, running. It's kind of a meditation. Also swimming, it's kind of a meditation. You really clear your mind and you're in the moment when the swimming with the water embracing you. So it's also a kind of meditation. So always when I work with the leaders, I ask them and they see that they do it, that actually the day-to-day, although they don't do the practice of the meditation per se, but they found the time to clear the mind. So it can be really going to nature for 10 minutes with your dog, but letting go of your thoughts and not clinging to your thoughts, but enjoying the smell of the trees, of the flowers, and the walk of the moment. So it's really finding the 2-3 minutes to be centered and connected in the here and now and not in our wandering mind.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that everyone does it. Okay, everyone has this point of meditation. Everyone has this ability. We do it without noticing, but when we notice, when we bring it to mind, then we can go back to it in times of need. So the gap is, how do I get the resource in time of need?
You make it.
Okay.
You make the time. This is the truth. Nobody will give you the time. It's so essential. Sometimes I'm telling leaders that I work with, put in your diary 10 minutes in the morning to be with yourself and find a way to be with yourself. You can be outside, you could be indoor, whatever you like, but you can listen to music, just be. And when thoughts come, see the thought and let it go. It's like being on a high mountain and clouds are coming in, right? We are immersed in the clouds and then it goes. We can't cling to the cloud. So a cloud is like thoughts. So if you're taking the time See the thoughts coming, acknowledge them, and then let them go. And bring your breath, in attention to your breath or to here and now. So it's actually a practice that we need to do. It's not easy doing it when we practice meditation, but we can start it easily when we, in nature, we're deciding to only to see the thought, acknowledge it, and let it go, and being present here and now.
Like the phrase that's saying, I don't remember who said it, that usually I meditate an hour a day, except when I'm really stressed, and then I meditate 2 hours a day.
Yes,
I don't remember, perhaps you remember who said it, but it's...
No, the saying goes, if you don't have time to meditate, so you need to find 2 hours to meditate. So it's so crucial, it's so important. Yes, so it's something we need to...
Thank you. How would you summarize, if you have, we're at the end of our intriguing interview, if you have something to say?
Yeah, sure. So 3 things I want to say. Firstly, it's really important to remember to take a time and pause and create this space. Nobody will create it for you. And really help us to connect to our internal world, to our feeling, to our emotion, even if they are uncomfortable. It's okay. Don't be scared of it. It's important because, you know, at the end of the day, all the creativity and the passion and the courage, all these traits are connected to our feelings and our emotion. And if we close it, we disconnect from our creativity and agility and great traits that we need today, also to differentiate out from the computers and robots. So this is the first thing. The second thing is the more we are connected to our internal world, the more we are present and centered in the day-to-day. And we are not blowing with the uncertainties and all the anxieties that we have. So we are more centered. And then finally, it makes us better listeners, as we can really hear what our clients need from us, our employees need from us, our community, and we can better serve them. So this is my summary for the conversation.
Dr. Keren Tsuk, it was fascinating. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much.